Welcome to the Real Clear Daf family. Do a bit of a tutorial here to show you some of the features of the app. So when you open the app, you'll be on the main home screen. Right in the center is today's daf with the date. You should be able to play or download that right from here, from either of these buttons. So the shear plays, and you'll notice the dynamic highlighting tool that makes you're sure you won't lose your place, highlights the words as the shear progresses. So we're still building that. It should be in there through the current daf. Now just taking us starting from the left, going along the top, we're on the Android version, but the Apple should be similar. There's an Aleph button at the top, which toggles you to the Safaria English elucidation. That might be useful. And you could make it full screen. You could download the shear, which comes in handy if you're going on a flight. Let's say you don't want to use up data, you won't have a connection. So once you download that, you'll see a little icon to delete it appears that shows that you've downloaded it. And to access the downloads, you could do that from the home screen, or it should work from here as well. And you won't require a connection to play that back, and you could always delete that if you want to free up space, and it should automatically be deleted if it's not used for a long time. And you could hit this star to bookmark any specific place in the shear, although the app should keep track of where you're up to. But if, let's say, you have multiple places, or you want to just make sure that it remembers the place, you can do that, and those bookmarks will be found again on another one of those lists on the main screen. And if you ever need any kind of help, assistance with the app, just hit the question mark button, and there are a bunch of ways to get in touch, as well as to leave a review. And the overflow here shows you additional things, and so we have you could lock the screen. That's if you want to follow with your finger on the screen without moving it around, as if it's real safer. You can share the app from here, do a dedication of a daf. Search allows you to search for any word in Hebrew or English through any Masechta or the whole Shas. Here you can toggle whether you want the highlighting pointer. And here, as you can see by default, this is unchecked, the autoplay the next shear, second last item. So this applies if you are, let's say, doing a bunch of shiurim, maybe in the car, you're catching up, and you don't want to start fiddling with the phone while you're driving, obviously. So if you check it off, then the app will automatically start the next shear. But as you can see, by default, that's off, so you'll need to turn that on to check that if you would like that to be working for you. And finally, you can mark the shear as complete. From here, let's say you did it on Shabbos already, and you want to make it noted in your progress that it's completed. You could do that here. We'll talk more about that in a second. And in terms of the audio controls themselves here as well in Android, you can mark it as complete from here. And you could control the speed. That definitely comes in handy if you're, if you want that perfect pace for you. Get some kvitzas aderech going. You could go all the way up to ×2, and you just hit that number to toggle the speed. And coming back to the home screen. So we briefly touched on the learning progress, so let's take a deeper look at that. You can access this from the home screen as well, but just by tapping on the box. As you can see, it gives you a breakdown here, of your stats. The first time you open it, it'll ask you, have you finished Shas before? You can always change that. So let's say in my case, it's my second time, and here we see a whole chart of the Masechtas. Now, if you need to quickly tell the app that you did a whole Masechta, let's say, I finished Tainus already this time around, you could hold down that Masechta and then say mark as learned. And then actually you'll get a Mazel Tov on the home screen for that. And in addition, if you tap on any Masechta, you'll be able to manually check off any daf you learned. So again, if you're playing this year in the app should automatically add that progress. But let's say you did something on Shabbos, so you could hit the check button and check any individual shir as well as mark them all as completed from here. And you can see here there's a button download all. So that would be if you want to have a whole Masechta on your phone and you don't want internet connection, you could use that. But of course, that's going to be a lot of data. So just be aware of that. We recommend it to only do that over Wi-Fi if you don't want to use up too much of your data. So that is as far as the learning progress. And if you, on the home screen, bring out the menu, as I just did from the top left, those 3 lines. So we have here different buttons. We can access a larger screen of the different columns we see on the home screen. Just you get a fuller picture of that. And you could search from here. You can access the learning progress from here. And importantly, if you need a daf other than the shiurim listed and latest shiurim, so you're not doing daf yomi, so then you access any shiur in Shas from this list. So let's say you need brachos, gives you brachos, and you get the whole list here. So that's an overview of the app features. Once again, if there's any question, you need any kind of help, just hit that question mark button and get in touch.